For the next panel discussion regarding the social entrepreneur success secret, I would like to call upon Mr. Nagaraj Prakasam and Ms. Sreedevi Devireddy. We are diving straight into the souls of entrepreneurship. Not every entrepreneur builds unicorns. Some build impact. Our next session is about those who don't just start up for scale, but for social change. For this discussion, we have a man on stage who doesn't chase unicorns, he grows them. Please welcome Mr. Nagaraja Prakasam, also known as Naga, an angel investor, mentor at NSRCEL, IIM Bangalore, and someone who proudly calls himself a startup farmer. After retiring at 41, he didn't slow down. He planted seeds of impacts across India. With investments in 33 startups, 65 plus funding rounds, and early backing of now known unicorn, Uni4, his journey has been nothing short of visionary. He also is the author of Back to Bharat in Search of a Sustainable Future, a powerful reflection on India's economic and environmental crossroads, which was honored with the GLF WWF Honors Book Award 2024. Let's give it up for a man who invests not just in ventures, but in a better tomorrow. Mr. Naga Prakasam, everyone.
Dr. Sreedevi Devireddy is a recipient of a globally recognized leadership scholar, a proud recipient of National Entrepreneurship Award, and she is the Vice Chairwoman of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So you know she means business. With more than 25 years of experience, Dr. Sreedevi has made waves as the founding CEO of SR Innovation Exchange and has a big impact through her roles at GITMA University and TIE Hyderabad. Herself is lined with honors like National Entrepreneurship Award and the Pride of Telangana Emerging Leader Award, but she's just as focused on mentoring and empowering young innovators. Let's put our hands together and welcome this amazing change maker, Dr. Sreedevi Devireddy.
I'm still wondering. Well, the challenge of a post lunch sessions are in front of me. I'll try to make it as interesting as possible. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be with you, Naga sir. We all fondly call him Naga sir. We have known each other for maybe around 10 years and have seen the path-breaking work he has done. And it's such a blessing to read his book, not only read his book, but have this session and debriefing the book as well as understanding his philosophy of investing. How many of you in this room are startup founders? Can I have a show of hands, please? How many of you would love to be? That's an amazing number. Thank you for that. Already Naga has been introduced, but from my lens, Naga is an engineer turned angel investor. He has traveled all the 28 states and union territories in India, mentoring and funding entrepreneurs who are often ignored by the quintessential investors. That's Naga for me. He's the author of the book, as we all have been talking about the book. It's an amazing Back to Bharat book, which is available outside. His book is all about building sustainable, equitable future by rediscovering and reimagining Bharat's strengths through entrepreneurship and technology. He defines Bharat as rural and semi-urban India, which, unlike metropolitan India, still holds the wisdom, frugality, and resilience of traditional knowledge systems. As an investor, Naga, I would like to start directly into the questions. As an investor, instead of copying Silicon Valley models, which most of the investors in India do, you always have been an advocate for deep listening and grassroots level engagement. I have been a witness to two of them. From the book, I have seen that you follow a model called PPT model. So can you enlighten us more about this model, please?
Great to be here, and congrats to Benedict starting the first Business Fest in Hyderabad. He's been doing this for the last 10 years, so thanks. Give him a clap. I think fantastic work. So he's been doing this for almost 10 years in Bangalore, first time in Hyderabad. So I think it's an amazing opportunity for everyone in Hyderabad to make utilize of the literature festival, because these days people are moving towards the social media 2 minutes reels, right? So reading also need to be encouraged, and good to see some of the college students have come all the way from Bangalore. So good job, guys, on a Saturday as well. Yeah. So coming back to this question, this PPT, what I call is about. I call is about we need to play on India's strength. There are three category of startups I call. The first category is the copycats, right? These guys will start copying what's happening in US. And then they will probably look at China, and then if it's agri startup, they'll end up copying from Israel. So this is what you'll see that, e-commerce, Amazon started in 2000, there are 85 e-commerce company came in, and a few survived. So similarly, the trend changes, right? From IoT to share economy to AI today, right? There are hundreds of companies which has a AI as a domain name. They think that they are the school buddies with the Sam Walton. So that's the kind of first category of startups. Then the second category is where what I call is about my interest is about playing on India's strength. So what do you think is India's strength is? Anyone? Population? Yeah, good job.
Demographic dividend?
Yeah, we have done a good job on.
Demographic dividend?
Demography, yes. Demographic dividend, yes. So lot of youth are there. So 27 and below are like 50% of the country, right? But we have a challenge, right? The youth is taken an oath to make Mark Zuckerberg rich. So we need to figure out, how do we get them out of these crazy apps they're always in. So what are the strength? Any other strength? What do we have? Huh? Art? Huh? Taxpayers. Yeah, very less. Yeah, how many percent pays tax? 8% or something. Very tiny portion. Yeah. But our strength is what I call is about problem, right? We have thousands of problem around us, right? Every problem is a what? Opportunity, right? For the entrepreneur. That's all matters. So if we have a sensitivity, that's what I call is about, in colleges, I'll start my session as about asking a few questions. I always tell the entrepreneur that, can you hear the sunrise? If you do, you're able to hear through the ear, but not through the eyes alone. So that means that your sensitivity increases when you hear the sun through your ears, the bird chirping in the morning, right? So when you start listening to all your senses, you become sensitive. So once you're sensitive, the problems around you will start bothering you. There are thousands of problems around us. Every day, every complaint you make since you get up till you go to bed, every problem is an opportunity, right? So that's what I say, just pick a problem, then bring some element of technology. Technology does not mean the Bangalore definition of tech. You know what is Bangalore definition of tech? Yeah, Bangalore definition of technology. So write application, right? App for everything. I say that 100 million people do not have electricity in India, sir. We'll write one app to track all of them. So that's how, that tech could be anything. You physics, biology, chemistry, whatever you're learning, can you go deeper, right? So this is handloom, but he's utilizing technology to take it to the people, right? This is what I'm wearing has a QR code, right? You scan it, it'll tell you who made it. So you put a device in every loom, right? So that he knows the geolocation, and we want to give a carbon credit to them. Then we have a Swachh Bharat, Gramalaya, right? They are the one first created a toilet which work on anaerobic model, means that you don't need to haul out the fecal matters. So again, there is anaerobic, there is a chemistry, there is a technology. So he's a social work student, but he was questioning why a ventilation pipe in the toilet, in the septic tank. And he said, why do we need to have ventilation pipe? So he created a EcoSon technologies where the fecal matter goes to one pit, it's airtight. So when it's full, you change the wall, it goes to the next pit. 3 months after, open your first pit, put your hand in, you have a fertilizer. So this is what, he got a Padma Shri award last year as a toilet man of India. right? He was building lakhs and lakhs of toilet on this model. So this is technology. So that's what my definition of tech is. Don't just say that I'll write another app. So bring some element of technology so that you are able to prove something, how he is showing the authenticity of this by using a QR code, how he is bringing anaerobic bacteria to work to create fertilizer. So these are all the way. Then if every Indian pay you 1 rupee, you're a 150 crore company. So that's what I call about, playing on India's strength. All my examples I've given in the book, all people playing in that category. They've created their own trends in what they're doing, like what I mentioned about Gramalaya Damodaran. He worked on this for 3 decades until government picked up that problem. But government is building toilets based on his model, right? So this is how that you can make a huge impact in the country. And as well as that, it's going to be amazing entrepreneurial opportunity because we can build the country through entrepreneurs as well. By being sensitive, you'll be able to ask this question, why? And then from there, you can figure out. I'll give you a lot more example. But one more quick is about biogas, right? We have 160,000 ton of waste every day. The biogas is a 100-year-old technology. It's a flop in the country, right? 80% of all the biogas plants are flop. Because that is what SOM of Carbon Master asked, okay, why it is failing in India. So he found out that the input discipline is not there, right? We junk everything, the bacteria dies. The output has impurities. He started purifying with technology from IIT Bombay so that he removed H2S, carbon dioxide, moisture. The resultant methane is about highest of value. Now today, government is talking about a priority lending for biogas, right? And now he's with the central minister creating a consortium for compressed biogas. He's India's first branded bio-CNG. He's selling cylinders coming from all his trucks are running using his own gas. This is what technology. Why government is very keen? Because we are importing, the number one is about oil. 160,000 ton of waste, half of that wet waste. From 40 ton of wet waste, you create 1 ton of LPG. So that much reduction in imports. That is why government is doing the priority lending. So this is what about tech. So like this, hundreds of entrepreneurs are solving amazing problems for India and identifying this problem through the asking the question why this problem exists. And here is an opportunity to create this thing. So like this, that's a strength and about the PPT idea.
Great, great, Naga. You have always emphasized that economic growth cannot be separated from social responsibility, environmental responsibility. You have been a big believer of 3 Zeros vision of Muhammad Yunus ji. Would you like to, the Nobel laureate, obviously, can you elaborate on this so that the viewers also can understand?
So today, world has 2 problems, right? Anyone know what are the 2 problems the whole world has? Whole world is facing? Huh?
Waste.
Leadership, yeah, that's true. Very true. But it's more pressing one. Huh? What?
Waste.
Yeah, waste. Yeah, climate change, one, and inequality. Right? Inequality and climate change, all the worlds are facing, right? Today is a great portion because the first world, second world, third world, all worlds are facing the same problem. In US, 16% of the population fell into poverty in their own standards. They have a climate change problem. You saw what happened today, the floods in Texas, right? The same flood happening in Uttarakhand as well. So the climate change is everywhere. Inequality is everywhere. So this is where it's a very interesting phenomena happening because the problem statement is valid for across the world. That means that everybody need to find a solution to that. So this is where the ESG coming in and then SDG came in, right? Sustainable Development Goals. So what is causing the climate change could be the greenhouse gases, that emission that is happening, unsustainable development that is happening. That is what I always say. We have to build the country not copying even US and China because those models are not sustainable. So that's where we need to start looking at it. If we are not able to follow that, and we will be having a similar problem. So the SDG goal has 17 goals UN has defined today for the country to be progressive. So now most of the countries just target the GDP. I think a lot of discussion happening around. But GDP is just one parameter. If you look at your car, there is a speedometer, there is a tachometer, there is a temperature, there is your fuel. All dials should be working in optimum level for the car for the best performance, right? So now if you look at only the speed alone, which is not going to cut it. Similarly, for the countries to be successful, we have to follow 17 goals. Similarly, in entrepreneurial as well, that we call about top and bottom line. So top is your first line of your profit and loss statement, that's revenue. The bottom is about the profit or loss. Now we are saying that, are you doing good for planet and our people as well? That's what we call triple bottom line companies. So this is a triple bottom line, like Go Swadeshi, Shiva will talk later. It's about sustainable fashion, right? So what I'm wearing is no energy is used to making this product, right? It's handmade. So compared to someone wearing a product which is power loom, there's energy saved. Can we give a carbon credit to them? So today, because of this carbon issue, carbon credits have come. What is carbon credit? Somebody is emitting more, somebody is emitting less. So the person who is emitting more is paying a fine to the person who is emitting less. Elon Musk, all of you know, right? Elon Musk makes $1.4 billion every year selling carbon credit. Because he's doing electric vehicle, he has a net zero on his plant. So there's GM and Fiat in Europe not able to meet the emission standards. They're buying a carbon credit from Elon Musk, right? So that now is a great thing, because the person who is committing a problem is not paying fine to the government, he's paying fine to the person who is good. So this way, when that Elon Musk makes $1.4 billion in carbon credit, what about our viewers? So that's what this company started looking at, Kosha. I will put a QR code, I will scan, I'll tell you. There'll be a device in the loom, it measures how much of this energy is saved by making the product. I will give a carbon credit to the viewer. We have 9 million viewers in the country. Andhra is very big for handlooms. You have Pochampalli, few hours drive from here, right? So can we give a carbon credit to them? So that's what I said, the problem statement of climate change and inequality. India has a great potential, because otherwise what happened? The developing countries are saying to the developed countries, give me 30, 40 years, I will reach your level. And then we will talk about it, but the time will be too late, Earth may not be there. That is why you look at all the US Hollywood movies. You have the Tomorrow World, Interstellar, it's all about finding a moon near Jupiter and go live there. All the rich guys in US want to go live in Mars, right? They've given up on Earth. So this is where that we have an opportunity to start looking at building sustainable companies, triple bottom line company. That's what many of my investments are all around, right? Carbon Master, where planet and people taken care. Here is a sustainable fashion. So similarly, if many people raise hands about wanting to start, but when you start wanting to start, create a triple bottom line company today. Otherwise, later you're going to be monitored through ESG, environment, social, and then governance. Because there'll be a factory fire in Bangladesh, Nike shares goes down because about the social issue. They outsource their production to somewhere in Bangladesh, and it is a very sweatshop, right? So now they're responsible that where my shirt is made. Now the consumers are aware about, tell me that it is not made in a sweatshop. So this is what about earlier, all the even corporates are measured only top and bottom. Today people are saying that what are you doing in the middle, right? Are you taking care of the social plus the governance part of your corporate? So this is what the great opportunity for us about is not only for a startup, even a big corporates need to talk about environment, talk about how they are taking care of the people, otherwise they'll be in trouble. That's why it's a fantastic place for us to be in, because for once the entire world is having the two problems.
Wow. So based on the theme we have today, can you define, or can you, in your words or in your thoughts, what is a successful social enterprise? As a matter of fact, before lunch, we had a session with Gurucharan Das ji. So Mr. Benedict asked him, what is the secret of a bestseller novel or bestseller book? Immediately he said, the question itself is wrong. So we should not aim at writing something to make it a bestseller, was his take on things. I would like to ask you, I would not say successful social enterprise, but I would ask ideal social enterprise. What is your definition?
So today, I think, unfortunately, everywhere, the moment it's a entrepreneurship, the success defined on the revenue. That's the one solid statement. Or these days about how much money you raise. Doesn't matter whether you are profitable, not non-profit, right? You see that I always joke the Flipkart is the largest non-profit in the country. right? They've raised a lot of money. So this is what kind of giving a wrong premises to a lot of people about what the success is. I always tell the entrepreneur that you define success for yourself. You define what the success for you, right? Don't just get carried away by someone else who are defining what the success is. That example of, for example, Gramalaya, I gave an example. He spent like 35 years working on one problem about toilet, right? Open defecation free India. That was his goal 35 years back. 25-year-old young chap, out of college guy, going and telling his parent that I'm going to work in toilet. Look at the reception he might have received. Exactly, right? But today, now waste management, everybody talking about 35 years back, he would have beaten up by its parents, but he stayed there. That is the number one thing about the secret of this social entrepreneur success, about the perseverance. You pick up a problem, doesn't matter whatever the challenge you come, you stay within that problem until you find a solution to it. Sometimes it takes longer, right? So now after 35 years, probably a few years back, government picked it up as a Switch Bharat, and he says, my job is done. And he's now working on menstrual hygiene. So that is the other part of social entrepreneurship, that social entrepreneurs are most of the time solving the problem where the government is not solving it. If government comes in, your job is done. So that is what about social entrepreneur that we need to look into is about innovate and scale, then government will come after and probably take it up. That's one part around the success. The second part is about the social entrepreneurs are very attracted easily. The lot of people I hear, they want to come into the space, solve the problems. I want to go to the village, help and all that. This is like I mentioned the book that the Miss World happened. The lady gets a title that somebody put a tiara on her head. They will ask her about what do you do on with their life and what she will do usually.
World peace.
Yeah, world peace, right? Next year she would be Bollywood and working for a world peace. So that's what happened to many of the social entrepreneurs as well, that there's a mission drift happens. They come with a lot of glamorous idea of that I'm going to save the world. But when they come in, that it is very tough work, because that is where the problem exists, right? For you to solve. If you start complaining the problem exists, then you're not an entrepreneur, you're an ordinary citizen. An ordinary citizen will complain about a problem, find somebody to blame. Entrepreneur does not blame anyone, he will start solving it, right? So that is a part. If the social problem, many of the social problems take a lot of perseverance. And people will say that, Shiva will talk about, I called him up Airbus to Red Bus, right? He was just flying around in his IT company. Now he had to take a bus, go to sit with a viewer in Odisha. And he'll wonder, what am I doing and sitting at 40 degrees centigrade with a viewer while somebody working with me is in an AC room. So that is kind of perseverance required for you to stay focused on one problem, go deeper on it. Same with waste management, Sahas. It took like 20 years for her to be today doing 100 ton a day in a very decentralized model where China is calling her, US is giving her a recognition, Government of India gave us an award about a startup solving a waste management problem. And Discovery Channel is doing about how she's finding a different way solving waste management. So the number one is about perseverance for them to stay on. Number two is about innovate and scale. The scale definition is with you. Whether you're solving a problem in one district or one simple problem that you're solving, it can go across. Like many of the examples, what government came in is one is on the Swachh Bharat. The next is about the 108 ambulance we saw, and they came from Hyderabad, right? And also this microfinance, right? Mohammad Yunus, he created one simple idea about making people bankable. Today, the microfinance are given in a bank license by the Government of India. So this is what amazing social entrepreneurs have done, right? They've taken a problem, stayed with them for a long time, and they're able to make an impact to the entire country. And the country can move ahead. Today, country can say we are very good in open defecation, free villages and cities, thanks to the idea that came from Damodar. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Naga. Last but not the least, we always celebrate successes, but we seldom talk about failures in open rooms or discussions like this. If you can, you can name the company or the entity, or you need not name them. Can you share a case where a Silicon Valley model was copied but didn't work, but maybe it could have worked had we engineered it as per India?
The quick in on the e-commerce, right? Because e-commerce started in 2000. Only it picked up in 2015. I always say that why it took 15 years for us to copy. Right? We are bad in copying, but what happened was we missed out understanding the psychology of the Indian customer. So that's when that people are wondering about how will I trust this company? Will I buy the online? Will he give the product or not? Right? So they solve the trust problem using cash on delivery. You see the product, you receive it, and then you pay the postman. So this is how the understanding the psychology helped to open up that industry. So it's merely copying the technology is not going to cut it. You have to understand the psychology of the customer. So it took 15 years for us to be able to perfect that story part, right? And we saw 85 e-commerce companies started and following that model, but many have failed today. So only 1 or 2 survived. Again, the challenge is about they thought everybody in the country had internet access. Everybody, the entire 1.5 crore is my target audience, right? They again misled by the data. So when entrepreneur said that, okay, I have 800 million users I'm going to work with. As in that, what do you mean by 800 million users? That we have a lot of children, we have a lot of poor people as well, so how come the 800 will happen? And he said Google has the data. So how many Google account he has? 14 Google account he has. So this one guy has 14 Google account. Google will tell you I have 800 million users. But how many unique users is where the question that we need to ask. So these are all the way just copy pasting what is working somewhere else without understanding India will fail miserably.
Yeah, very true, sir. So, well, we'll open up for questions. Oh, I can see I would request the volunteers to just. I have a humble request. Just keep your question very precise.
Is it audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Hi, Nagaraja. Thank you so much for taking time to come.
We are not able to hear you.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you so much. My question is, when you look at social enterprises, what are the parameters you look at, investment criteria, like suppose if you are putting some seed money, seed capital or whatever. So, of course, social aspect is definitely the main theme. Apart from that, you also have that economic side.
So from the investor, you want to take 1 or 2 and ask 1 or 2 other question in the club or lands?
Thank you.
Yeah, there's one more question.
Sir, what's your advice to the people aspiring to be entrepreneurs or the social entrepreneurs but got stuck in that 9 to 5 cycle, EMIs?
Awesome, good question. Yeah, okay. Yes.
Hi, my name is Hiteshi. I'm a social entrepreneur. So when we spoke about, we talk about social entrepreneurship, I am working on something really huge. I wanted to ask, how can we increase the amplify of our campaigns to reach more audience as a social entrepreneur? Like, pooling money or, how can you make sure that you increase the reach of the campaigns that you're doing? So I'm working on a campaign, just for the reference. It's on menstrual hygiene. I'm working for 1 million underprivileged women. So yeah, on that. Thank you.
Okay, great. Awesome. So the first is about this, what the entrepreneur need to have the quality. This, what I mentioned on the perseverance, right? People need to have this perseverance because it's going to take time. So that is where his question aligns with that. So India is a great place that you can have a 5 rupee idli or a 500 rupee idli. What do you want? So we have Eastern ethos. We used to live simple life. So today we are just going after the extravagant life. So what is the life and lifestyle you want? That is what something that you need to figure out. If somebody is dictating about this lifestyle that you want, you need to have to figure out, right? That what it is. So people always say that why you put your name Naga on it. I said I asked Adidas to pay me using his name. Then nobody paid me, right? So you're all putting all the branded shirt. You're making those guys free marketing for them. I said, they have not paid me, so why should I wear their product? I will put my name. This is cheaper than those products, yeah? But this looks unique. So this is what you have to define out every activity that you're doing, right? Every 1 rupee you're spending, it's about what is the use case of that. That is it towards sustainability, towards something that needed or not. So then comes this part about 9 to 5, all this EMI part, all this coming up, right? Otherwise, so I've told people, in my book I mentioned, I've never owned a house in Bangalore. I said, why do you need a house? Because India GDP and the house price in India does not align. Yeah, so you know that how the house prices are driven by the. I met a guy in Bangalore. He owns 1,000 apartments. Where the money came from, you will know, right? But all the hard-working couples, you guys are competing with that guy. He doesn't care what the price is. But next 40 years, your hard-working money go to making some real estate. So like this, every element that you need to start looking about what you want to be, then choice is with you. We always figure out a way to blame someone else for our choice. So which idli you want to eat? 5 rupee or 500 rupee? That's what you need. And then car, right? When I ran IT company, the car I drove was the cheapest car and all our employees who had. Right? The guy who joined yesterday in my IT company will have a Honda City. I was driving a Honda in Indigo, Tata Indigo car. I said, doesn't matter, A to B, I need to go somewhere, right? That's what I 40, I said, I'm done with no more running. I got up. So the campaign, it's about, we can't just wait for a viral everything. So today people want, I was in the Forbes 30 by 30, the jury. The one person called me, sir, I've started last year social entrepreneur, I'm doing very well. Why you not given me an award? I said, like, Government of India gave Padma Shri to Gramalaya after 35 years. The guy started last year. So this is a problem with our generation that start tomorrow, tomorrow will go viral and then you're all set. So it takes time. So have a perseverance, you'll have it.
Sorry, the time is up.
We will talk offline.
We can talk offline. Since it's a literature festival, one last question to you, Naga. You have written a fabulous book. How was that book done, and how do you think that's going to influence thousands of entrepreneurs?
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Benedict. So very good. It's the third print has come now. Paperback has come. So in the literature world, the paperback come in, you're doing decent. Yeah. So that is one. The second is about. There is a lot of interest from universities. So Alliance University, I'm doing a course called Solving for Bharat, where the book is a textbook. There's no exam, so 80% on the field, 20% only theory. IMB also will launch the course in the end of the year. So like this, is going to the students so that they'll get exposed to what is happening. Yeah.
Well, going into Hyderabad and enlightening us. Thank you, audience, for your patience here.
Were you listening? Yes? I don't know, my knowledge is fit or it will be temporary, but I am in awe with the knowledge of this person right here. Thank you so much, both of you, for this valuable discussion. I am very grateful to witness it. And moving on, I would like to request Mr. Benedict to please felicitate our worthy guest, Mr. Naga. And Miss Sreedevi Devireddy. Thank you so much, both of you.